Isfet is upon you, it is upon us. So what I wanted to do was just have a quick sort of reaction to the campaign, go through all of the new stuff and kind of share a bit of, you know, probably more than anything, my excitement. So let's get to contents. Okay, God Pledge, €120. The Ragnarok was $119. So yeah, not much change. That, it's a slightly different exchange rate, but yeah, a slight increase, but not very much at all. An all-in €259. Okay, so what do we get for that? Core box and stretch goals. 2 big box expansions. The art book. So the Ragnarok art book was excellent. I've got a review of that. Maybe I'll stick a link in the description. The art book for Ragnarok was fantastic. So good, actually, that I wish that they would re-release that art book for Pantheon. I wish they would go back and do Pantheon in that format. It's so good. So very much looking forward to that. A sexy new dice tray and some new dice. Looking very good, and some sleeves for the all-in pledge. Brilliant. All looking good. Right, Norse God Pledge, €120. There's nothing new here. All in €299. Yes, that's because it includes the new expansion, the Kraken expansion. So very, very cool. So yeah, all of the other stuff from the last campaign there. Right. Let's get into this. Right, Horus and Isis. Yeah, they're brilliant. Very, very cool indeed. Set and Sobek. So I don't have a huge amount of knowledge about Egyptian mythology, but from what I have seen or what I do know, I am a fan. So as soon as I'm done with this video, I'm going to get to work straight away on some new content to basically go live as soon as possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through every single unit that is new to Mythic Battles. So whether it be from Isfet, Pantheon or Ragnarok, I'm going to do kind of a minute or so on each unit just to give you a very, very brief background of who they are, what they're about, and all that sort of stuff. Okay, so back to it. Akhenaten and Cleopatra. Very cool. Nefertiti and Ramesses II. Okay. Amit. Was it the Devourer of Souls, is it? So that's a Titan-sized monster. Is it? Yeah, monster, yeah. Amazing. Bennu and Nevis. Am I saying that right? Nevis? Is it just Nevis? I'm not sure. Let me know. Okay. Petsuchos. So I think he was the son of Sobek. Something to do with protection as well. Protection of agriculture, maybe. Not quite sure. Hyksos warriors. Judges of soul. I know it feels like half the deities in ancient Egypt were some sort of judge of the soul, but don't really know anything about a specific group known as the Judges of Soul. The Medjay Guards. Mummies. So the interesting thing about mummies is that there is no Egyptian mythological tales about mummies or anything like that. It was just part of the culture of what happened with the deceased over there. Yeah, they never reanimated or anything like that. Serpopard. Very cool looking. Serpopard. 2 of those. They look like they might be pretty tough, actually. The Tar Seti Huntresses. Very cool. Okay, so that's everything from the core box in terms of minis. Obviously, there's going to be lots of stretch goals and that sort of stuff. Maybe I'll do an update to this as we are part of the way through the campaign. But very, very cool. I mean, obviously, do you know, I have to be honest, I am totally biased because I absolutely love Mythic Battles. For me, it's the perfect kind of merger of skirmish and board game. Yeah, I absolutely love it. These boards look great. None looks fairly symmetrical. The breach as well. Yeah, there's an interesting kind of tree line or forest line there. Okay, cool. Memphis and the Court of Osiris. I've seen these boards before. They do look very symmetrical. They're going to be really cool for tournaments, I think. Yeah, it's look pretty balanced, them. Okay, dashboards as usual. Various cards, blah, blah, blah. Dice tokens. See one for Bennu there. Right, the Keeper Stones. Keeper or Kepper? I'm going to say Keeper. 3D trees and statues. Only 6 statues, but 10 trees. Okay, cool. Rule books, scenario books, and all that sort of stuff. Great. Right, the Duet expansion. Right, absolutely brilliant. Anubis and Osiris. I think Osiris is probably my favourite. Yeah, maybe my favourite. Yeah, the way he's carrying that dead body. Amazing. Heroes. We've got Nama and Tutankhamun. Nama I really like. It almost looks a little bit mummified himself. Very, very cool indeed. And then we have Serket. Serket, I believe, was a woman. Or maybe at least a female. Okay, monsters. We have Amer and Medjed. I don't really know anything about Amher, sorry. And Medjed, very cool. And I thought that was Ra. Kurti. Who's Kurti? Looks like it's running, kind of providing a similar job to Ra, maybe. Okay, Sons of Anubis. So these are troops. Looks pretty cool. And the Ka priestesses. So Ka, I think maybe I think Ka was like how. So you Ka, think of Ka like Chi, maybe not the same, but you know, it was. I think if I remember, it's to do with the process of the movement of the soul and that kind of thing. But yeah, that's cool. Maps. The first tomb looks epic. And Netta Kertet. Very cool. And then all the stuff you would expect to go with it. Right, the Eternal Cycle. Oh, is that Ra on the image there? Right, okay. So Apophis. Apophis is the big bad in Egyptian mythology. So Apophis is basically trying to kill Ra every night and destroy the Egyptian world. And effectively that is the battle between Apophis and Ra every night. Okay, Geb. Geb is to do with Geb's all about agriculture and that kind of thing. Yeah, looking after. Yeah. I think he's looks after the harvest and all that sort of stuff. Okay, cool. The Kepri. That is just a great big scarab beetle. Very cool. And then Ra himself. Yeah, that's amazing. Superb. Right, I think that's it for the Isfet stuff. Additional dice sets, dice trays and all that sort of stuff. Very, very cool. So we've seen all this from the All-In. Right, Ragnarok content. So the Kraken expansion. Okay, so we have the Titan. So the Titan, you forget about Clash of the Titans and all that sort of stuff. there's no Kraken in Greek mythology, or if there is, Ketos is the closest you could probably associate with it. But this is the real Kraken. The Kraken is to do with Norse mythology, and here he is. Okay, Aegir, the god. Very, very cool. I wonder how big that model is. But yeah, it looks brilliant anyway. Okay, Eric the Red and Floki. Freydis and Leif Erikson. I believe all four of these guys are to do with the kind of the Norse expansion through, I think through Iceland and Greenland and further afield, I think. So very cool. The Daughters of Aegir, 9 daughters. Very good. I wonder if they are all depicted on that sculpt on the other side that we can't see, but very good. Ran, that is Aegir's wife, I believe. The Disciples of Skadi. Okay, cool enough. And Drowned. Are they undead? Well, they look cool, whatever they are. Right, another double-sided board, the Noaton and Vinland. Vinland is, was that part of Canada, I think? Okay, very cool. Okay, so that is it for the Kraken expansion. And then it goes through all of the various Ragnarok stuff that's already been released. So very, very cool stuff here. Right, give me some Pantheon. Right, here we go. Oh, yes. Keepers of the Soul. So I think might have actually already seen everything to do with the Pantheon stuff that's being released. Maybe. So Thanatos and Hypnos, the brothers, both live in the underworld. Thanatos is he's basically the personification of death. He's the Grim Reaper. So he's collecting the dead and bringing them to Hades or bringing them to the underworld. So very, very cool. Hypnos looks pretty. That scythe looks horrible in that, but I think he was generally quite a how can I say it? There was no wrath about Hypnos or anything like that. He was there to aid people, help people through sleep and all that kind of stuff. Charon, however, is a different kettle of fish. So the ferryman, coin in the mouth, and he'll take you across the river Styx to the underworld. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. So Thanatos and Hypnos are gods, and Charon is a monster, which, yeah, that's plausible. I probably would have had him as a god, but yeah, I understand. So that is that. And then the final one, the Chthonian Wrath. So we've got Demeter and the Erinyes. Now the Erinyes, there was lots of them. They were the Furies. I think there was either 5 or 9 of them. Demeter's very cool. So when Persephone buggers off with Hades, she puts the earth through the winter and the autumn, and then when Persephone comes back to Demeter, then you get the spring and the summer. That is basically that's the idea of the mythology behind that. But basically, Hades kidnapped her daughter, took her to the underworld, but they maintained that relationship. 6 months with Demeter, 6 months with Hades. That's how you get the kind of the seasonal cycle. She was one of the Olympian gods, so one of the original Olympian gods. So the daughter of Kronos and Rhea. And I believe this rounds out all the 12 Olympian gods as well. I believe we've got them all now. So that's brilliant. The Erinyes, superb, absolutely superb. So the Erinyes, otherwise known as the Furies, they were quite heavily involved in kind of retribution and fixing wrongs, any sort of family disputes that ended up in murder and that kind of things. The Furies or the Erinyes are going to come and get you. I can understand why there's only one Irinye model in this campaign. I was hoping that we would get more, but I understand why we're only getting one. Yeah, because you couldn't have a whole bunch of them. There would be for me, mythology-wise, they'd be far too powerful to have as a troop and have a few of them. Maybe if I was doing it differently, I would have a number of these on one big base. So the Irinyes there'd be lots of them on one base, but they would be effectively one monster that travelled around. But either way, I absolutely love it. I wouldn't change anything, to be fair. Now I've seen this model, I wouldn't actually change it. But yeah, that's it. That is the full campaign. That is all of the new stuff. Oh, brilliant. Mythic Battles Pantheon dice tray. So in line with the Ragnarok and the Isfet ones. Very, very cool. And nothing else new. Okay, excellent. So I'll be covering lots and lots of content to do with this campaign. So over the course of it, keep an eye on the channel, subscribe and all that sort of stuff, and I shall be bringing out more content as we go along. So definitely, if you want to learn more about each individual unit that is new within the world of Mythic Battles from this campaign, make sure you drop a subscribe and keep an eye out for my next video, which will basically, I'll be spending a minute or so on each individual unit. So I'm looking forward to that. But thanks for watching, guys. Much appreciated. Mythic Battles is back. I'll see you later.